Welcome to NuttieBuddie Sports.
So speaking of which, are you ready to do our week 3 predictions?
Let's do it.
Okay, so this is Ryan versus the guest. So just in case this is the first time you're listening to the podcast or first year you're listening to the podcast, last year, the person who is hosting the show with me will go up against me, and we will pick each game, and then I total it up at the end of the season and see if I win or the people on the show win. Last year I won just by 4. This year I am down 15-17. I tied with Rue 7-7 week 1. It was a horrible week 1 for both of us. Last week I had Shannon send me his picks. I got 8 right. He got 10 right. I was in Mexico. Okay. It was all inclusive, so didn't pay for anything. If you catch my drift, I forgot to check home and away stuff because I did pick Minnesota to beat the Eagles. For some reason, I thought the Vikings were at home. That's on me. But this week, I am ready to go. I got the home and away. So, Clint, you ready to do our first game here?
Let's do it.
Okay, so Thursday night, barn burner here. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. Clint, who do you have?
I'm going to go with the Browns. I think they'll be mad enough. And the Steelers, Mitchell Trubisky, I don't think he's going to have much time.
When do you think the Steelers go to pick it?
I think they'll wait until they're out of it quite a ways. I think the second half of the year.
Okay. I thought maybe if they lose this game, they might go to pick it
Because they should.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say because that offense isn't moving. What harm is it to put in the rookie who in the preseason, he played well. He played well enough to possibly get the start anyway. So I don't know. I think after this game, if they lose, it could happen.
Yeah, I think their bye week is week 9. So that would be, they should do it after they lose this game. But week 9, I think they're just going to take it to the bye week would be my guess. But maybe it's week 10, whatever their bye week is. I was trying to count quick.
I am picking the Browns as well. Okay. Next game, the New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. Clint, who do you have?
I will take the Saints. I think their defense will be good enough. And hopefully Alvin Kamara is back.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, do you know that if he's back or not? Yeah.
I don't. It sounded like it was, not busted up ribs, bruised ribs. So I'm hopeful he will play. Otherwise, I don't know. I think that's going to be an ugly game. Both teams have good defenses. I guess it depends if Jameis is going to decide to just say some prayers and throw it up like he did at the end of the Buccaneers game. But
well, did you notice or hear that he had like 5 fractured things in his back?
Yeah.
It's like I don't know if I could play the video game with 5 fractures in my back, you know what I'm saying? That's a little concerning.
I love when they say, "Oh, they can't make it worse." You're like, "That's great," but when you're getting sacked 4 or 5 times a game or getting hit 10 times a game, I'm sure it doesn't make it feel any better.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna pick the Saints as well. I do have like a part of me wants to pick the Panthers. I'm like, because this is like backs against the wall type of game for them. If they don't win this game, they'll start 0-3. And it's gonna be tough to come out of it. And the way Jameis played especially the second half of the game against the Bucs, I'm just like, you cannot be performing that way. So, but I'm gonna go with the Saints. Houston Texans at the Chicago Bears.
Oh, all right. This is I'll go with the Texans.
Okay.
Part of me wants to go with the Bears because they're home, but I don't know. I know Justin Fields won against the Niners, but I think he's completed like 7 passes week 1 and 8 passes week 2, and
he only passed the ball like 11 times last game or something like that.
Especially, and they were down, against the Packers. So I thought if that was the game, they were going to try to open it up. But I don't know. I'm still going to stick with the Bears aren't actually as good as they've looked. Granted that it's not going to be a monsoon. And the Texans, I don't know. I don't think the Bears defense is good enough, and it's going to be another ugly game that the Texans will pull out.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of curious about is like, I think it's going to be close. And part of me wants to lean towards the home team in their home. So I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to pick the Bears. But I have been super impressed with I don't want to say super impressed. That's over exaggerating a little bit. I've been impressed with the way the Texans have been playing, but I'm going to go Bears. I think the Bears, I'm not impressed. The Texans offense isn't like gangbusters. So I don't know how much they're going to move the ball on that defense. And man, I'm kind of talking myself out of the Bears though. I'm going to go
Smith
with the
revenge game.
That's it. There you go. Yeah, I'm going to go Texans. I'm going Texans. You talked me into it. I'm going Texans. Sorry, Gavin. If you're listening, man, blame Clint. I was all in on the Bears, but I Lovie Smith revenge game. That did it for me. Yeah. Those players will be playing hard for him. Okay, let's go. Let's go to the next game. Kansas City Chiefs at the Indianapolis Colts. Clint, who do you have?
Colts, no.
Get right game right here.
Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna beat you on this one. No, it has to be the Chiefs for this one.
Jeez. Okay, what do you think? 30, 40-point victory?
Oh, I mean, I guess I think the Colts might keep it close for a while. I think they're just gonna run and run, keep running, and hopefully. But yeah, I think it's gonna be like 31-10 or 31-14, something ugly.
Yeah, I'm with you. Here we go. Game of the week, baby. Buffalo Bills at the Miami Dolphins. Who you got, Clint?
I'm going to go with the Bills. I have to go with the Bills. I'm telling you, they're going to go 20-0.
That's right. Yeah. I greenlight that take, so I should go with the Bills as well. I will say things that are working for us is Bills on a short week. I'm glad they won and not lost, and us being at home, that's good. So I think we can turn that 40-point deficit that we often lose by to like 17. That's what I'm kind of hoping. I had sort of like this game plan and how we could beat the Bills possibly, but it would involve like abducting Josh Allen, dehydrating him, giving him cramps, stuff like that. I don't think
Ace Ventura style, just kidnap Dan Marino.
Right. Exactly. But anyway. Okay, next game, the Detroit Lions at the Minnesota Vikings. Who do you got?
Vikings.
You got the Vikings.
I think the Vikings will get right in this one.
Obviously I made this list yesterday. I'm going to pick the Vikings as well. If I felt like maybe the Lions could sneak one in there if they didn't get embarrassed on Monday night, but I think being at home, coming off that game they did last week, it's got to be the Vikings. I think they'll win, but go Lions. It's going to
be a big Dalvin Cook game. He's been bad the last 2 weeks. I think they're going to get him the ball.
They'll feed him, yeah. Baltimore Ravens at the New England Patriots. Who do you got, Clint?
Baltimore. I think I was generous and didn't put the Patriots in the ugly, but they've looked bad. But yeah, they got to win. So
yeah, that's the hard part. It's like the ugly, like 0-2 teams that win the world. Yeah, I'm with you. I got the Ravens as well. Yeah, I don't think the Patriots offense doesn't look great. Their defense seemed competent the last 2 weeks, but yeah. Anyway, the Cincinnati Bengals at the New York Jets. Who do you got?
All right. I'm going to go with the Bengals. I have a couple I'm going to switch up here and maybe pick someone unexpected, but I can't be that low on the Bengals. I think if there's ever a game, like you mentioned, a get right game, this has to be it for the Bengals.
See, I thought it was last week, honestly. This week, I should say, where it's like, okay, you lost to the Steelers, division rival, you're upset, you're going to go in against Cooper Rush and just lay the smack down. That's what I thought was going to happen. But I'm with you. I'm going to pick the Bengals. This is your get right game. But man, I don't feel good about it because the Jets defense is like, it's okay. And if, who knows, start hitting Burrow. Well, Travis, call your Bengals. Get them right. Get them right. Call your LSU team. Okay. The Las Vegas Raiders at the Tennessee Titans. Who do you got?
I will go with the Raiders.
Oh man, me too.
Do we have every pick the same so far?
Yes,
I think we do because I convinced you to take the Texans.
Yeah. Should I be allowed to change it? I got to though. Lovey, when you said Lovey Smith revenge, yeah, the Raiders. I think this is I don't know. A short week for the Titans. They were embarrassed. They'll probably come out and play, but this is loser eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah, this one makes me nervous as much as on paper I think the Raiders should run away with it. This reminds me of, it doesn't matter if they put 9 men on the box. The Raiders, they have a good pass rush, but this reminds me of a game that the Raiders let Derrick Henry get a couple long runs, and you're like, why is this game 14-13 in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, agreed. Philadelphia Eagles at the Washington Commanders.
Clint, all right, here you go. I'm going to go with the Commanders.
This is one
where I'm going to flip on you.
Well,
I just think this is going to be one. The Eagles came off a high. Darius Slay had a couple picks, and I don't know. Washington's been chucking it. Washington has a terrible defense, which makes me nervous, but I don't know. I just feel like the Eagles might come in a little overconfident, and Washington's going to throw it all over the field. And they got guys that can get deep, but that's my only reason is the Eagles are coming off a high, going on the road.
Short week.
Not a far trip. Short week.
Yeah.
Darius Slay looked a little beat up. He was limping a little bit after the game. Like, hey, we just made our statement. Who cares about Washington?
I could see it. Division rival opponent as well. Division opponents typically always play each other hard.
You can text me when it's 31-0 in the second quarter
and be like, hey, you want to change your pick? No, just kidding. I'm gonna go Eagles. I kind of like can see your logic, but the defense, it has not played good, and like, I don't know, the Eagles. I think the Vikings defense is better, and they thrashed the Vikings for a half. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I don't feel good about it.
That's fair. Why don't we do another curveball here too, Clint? The Jacksonville Jaguars at the Los Angeles Chargers. Who do you got?
I'll go with the Chargers. I thought about this one.
I did too.
I think the Chargers will. I should put it, if Justin Herbert plays, I will go with the Chargers.
That's fair. I think you will. I think you'll I don't know what else you can do with broken ribs except put that jacket on. I'm going Chargers as well. They had the longer rest. Like when you play Thursday night, it's like a half a bye week, because you get that extra couple days of rest. I think Jaguars look good, but I don't think they look that good yet, like where they're going to compete with Herbert. But I owe one to Tyler here. I got to pick their team because he was a little disappointed. I picked the Raiders over the Chargers in week 1. If it wasn't for 3 interceptions, who knows? Who knows? Los Angeles Rams at the Arizona Cardinals. Clint, who do you got?
I will go with the Rams. I think similar to how the 49ers beat the Rams, I think the Rams have the Cardinals number, especially without DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, I'm going Rams as well. As much as it was real fun to watch the Cardinals come back in that game, because of some of the moments that we saw, like him running around for 21 seconds, and I think a total of 82 yards he ran for that 2-point conversion. As fun as that, I just don't know if that's sustainable, and not every team's gonna allow you to get away with that. So, here's one. The Atlanta Falcons at the Seattle Seahawks. Who do you got, Clint?
So this one was tough. This is one of those two bad teams. Like, who do you pick? Do you favor the home team? I'm going to go with the Seahawks because I think they are going to let Gino cook from Sunday Night Red today. I think they're going to throw. They were way too conservative against the Niners and had no creativity. And I have no idea how. I mean, they did it once and got called back by a penalty, but I have no idea how you don't just throw 3 or 4 deep ones to DK Metcalf every game. But I think that's what they'll do against the Falcons. And the Falcons going to Seattle, I don't see it.
Well, you know what was stupid about that game was the Seahawks had that real nice drive, and they decided to let their fullback Dallas throw for
third down fullback.
I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you just killed all the momentum you had. Like, that was so dumb. So they didn't really deserve to win that game. I have the Seahawks too. People keep telling me about how amazing this Kyle Pitts guy is. Like, is he on the field? Is he injured? Like, how many people picked him up in fantasy football that were like, oh, he's going to be amazing? It's like, he plays the tight end position, although they say he's a wide receiver. But, like, if they're going to play him as a tight end, you kind of got to treat him like a tight. I don't know. I think he's a great talent. I haven't seen a whole lot of him, but it's just like, I'm still like, the Falcons should have drafted him number 3 overall. That tight end's a luxury pick. You don't draft him, and everyone's like, no, you're wrong. It's like, are you kidding me? Two weeks, and I think he has like 6 yards or something like that. He's good.
I totally think, well, if he doesn't do it this game, the Seahawks are bad against tight ends. Like Ross Dwelly scored a touchdown on the Seahawks last week. I don't know. I think he's going to take a career path like Vernon Davis. Like, the Niners drafted him way too early, and he was a total disappointment for 2 or 3 years until they figured out a system to get him the ball. But you know, I'd agree. It's wasted a 4th pick on a tight end, no matter how, unless you're going to, they don't even use them. Like,
that's another
guy, throw some jump balls to the dude. He's a huge guy.
That's true.
Why are we running decoy routes?
And that's the other thing is, usually, I'm not saying he'll probably be a Hall of Fame type level tight end. I'm going to say that right now, but tight ends take a little bit to get used to the NFL game. Like, it seems that way. So I'm with you. I just like I'm with you as well as they should target him more. So we'll see what happens. The Green Bay Packers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Clint.
I can't do it. I can't pick the Packers. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers. I think this is going to be an ugly game though, but I'll go with the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I don't trust the Green Bay pass catchers yet. I know Sammy Watkins went for like 111 against the Bears, but it is the Bears. So, you know, like, good for that. It's just like I think both Dillon and Jones are top 5 in receiving for the Green Bay Packers right now, top 4 actually. So I'm on the Bucs right now as well.
Quick vent. So the guy who does Locked On Packers, he put out a tweet because I think Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson are like 3 and 4, 1 and 2 in targets. And he's like, see, Aaron Rodgers throws to young quarterbacks. They're at like 3 targets a game. Like, what are we talking about here, people? Like, Sammy Watkins led the team. I think he had 4 targets. Like, they're not even throwing to the wide receiver. So to be like, well, he's giving the young guys a chance. Like, they're throwing wide receiver screens to these dudes because Christian Watson can't catch anything that isn't like a flip pass to him. So it just the Packers stuff frustrates me when you're like, see, they're going for it with wide receivers. I'm like, I don't think any team has thrown it less to the wide receivers than the Packers.
Well, did you hear that crazy stat? Like, they have not drafted in the first round an offensive player. Oh, what was it? Oh, for the obviously other than Jordan Love, like in 13 years.
Yeah,
like
it's a while.
Yeah, I think it was 13 years. I could be wrong, but it's like, how do you not? Now, even the second round, I think in the last, other than what happened this year, it was like 8 years since, or maybe it was 6 since they drafted a wide receiver in the second round. But it's just like, why, if you're so bent on building through the draft, why do you neglect skilled position players on the offensive side of the ball? I mean, the wide receiver position. Why is it something like, it blows my mind. It just blows my mind. Just like, really? Their defense hasn't been like consistently awesome either. to show for it, like because they've been anyway. That was a event or whatever, but I just like it just it's so dumb, so dumb. Aaron Rodgers will win a Super Bowl next year when he's on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Miami Dolphins, depending on who it plays the rest of the year. So
the Detroit Lions, no.
Well, I did think of that, but I'm like, the Packers would never trade him to Detroit, but Detroit's set up for someone like Aaron Rodgers. It would be cool if he did a Favre and just went to the AFC for a year and then went back to the Lions. And stuck it.
I would be an Aaron Rodgers fan for that year.
Me too. I'm like a fan of his anyway. Not like, I think he's a great quarterback. People allow his personality to get too involved in it. San Francisco 49ers at the Denver Broncos. Your game here, my man. What are you going to do?
I'm going to go with the Niners.
Yeah, you can't root against them.
I can't. Well, yeah, you can't. This will be the Russell Wilson game, and I'll get a text from Talon because, Russell Wilson will look like garbage, and this is the game he'll decide to prance around and throw for 4 touchdowns. I think it's going to be an ugly game anyhow. So
yeah, we're in a gauntlet league where, like, you know how those work. Like the lowest score every week gets eliminated. So last week I was leading the league after the first 2 weeks because I drafted Stafford and Cup and I had that duel. And the third week I scored the lowest because they both had a bad game and I got eliminated. But I was the top scorer. Guess where I'm at this year? Top scorer. So guess what's going to happen this week? I'm going to get eliminated. But I'm going to pick the Broncos. The reason why I brought that up is I got Sutton because, you get all the players back so I picked him up recently. But I'm going to go Broncos. I think this is a right game for Russell Wilson. But I will say that I think the Niners, I had a hot take. I don't know did you listen to our preview podcast? Okay, I had a hot take, or my hot take of the year is only one NFC West team is going to make the playoffs, which I don't think I would have been too far on if Lance stays healthy, just by the way, obviously small sample size. But I think with Jimmy G, I think they can make the playoffs. So, this is just not the game.
Yeah, I feel it's weird. When he got hurt, so I feel more confident in the season because I already know what Jimmy G is going to do. They can already run the offense. They're going to beat all the bad teams like they usually do, and they're going to be close in all these. So my confidence level that the season isn't going to has potential to be if Jimmy G gets hurt, it's going to be a disaster, and the Dolphins are going to have a top 10 pick. But with him playing, if he plays out the rest of the year without getting hurt, I'm like, okay, they're going to have a good year. They're going to either win the division or be close, but you still run into what happens when we play a good team and they get pressure on Jimmy G and he throws a couple ducks. So my confidence level, I feel like, okay, I have much less worry about the season now because you don't have the variable of Trey Lance playing good, not playing good, up and down. But you just fall back into I'm sure halfway through this game, he's going to throw one out and Patrick Surtain is going to be standing there if he plays. And I'm going to go, what are we doing? But
well, he'll throw one. He'll give the team one. That's what Jimmy G does. But yeah,
I got to jump on the bandwagon now and drink all that Kool-Aid. MVP, comeback player, whatever it is. Here's Jimmy G. Put it all on him.
Okay, last game. Monday Night Football, the Dallas Cowboys at the New York Giants. Why are these primetime games so crappy? Can I ask that real quick?
Oh, I don't know. I thought the same thing when my son goes, oh, who plays Thursday night? And I'm like, oh, Steelers and Browns, and Monday night is Cowboys, Giants. Just all right.
Yeah, talk about bookending that.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Giants.
Ah, man, me too. 3-0. 3-0 Giants.
The Cooper Rush shine is gonna come off on the road. If this was in Dallas, I think I would pick Dallas, but I think this is one outdoors, unless the Cowboys, which Daniel Jones has been known to turn over a time or two. But if he doesn't turn it over 2 or 3 times, I think the Giants will ugly win again. And Mike McCarthy won't go for it on a 4th down, and Brian Daboll will, and that'll be the game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's I what you said about the home team, I'm with you. If it was in Dallas, I'd probably pick the Cowboys. But being at home for the Giants, their defense has been pretty solid the first 2 weeks. Barkley looks like Barkley again. So, yeah, Giants.
I traded for him last year in that dynasty league at the end of the year.
Oh, smart.
And they were like, no, you shouldn't get him. I'm like, no. I went for him and Tyreek Hill.
Oh,
and
interesting.
Now I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I got those two right. Did you win last year?
Yeah.